Hey guys, welcome to the video. In this video, we actually got something that I, get repeatedly because when I like something, I really like it. So this is what I have right now, but I let somebody borrow it, and pro tip, never let anybody borrow anything. I just unlocked it right now. Look, it's not opening up. It's supposed to, open up, because there's a spring here. It's just supposed to open up like this, it's supposed to stay open like that. But they, I don't know what they cut with this, but it just stays locked in place, and even with one hand it's kind of hard to open, you know what I mean? So it was even worse before, but yeah, this is damaged. Can't really use that cutting thing anymore without really messing up that wire or whatever. So this is going in the garbage. Got a replacement. It's the same thing. Now I use 2 wire strippers. 2 of them always stays with me. One is this little one. This I always have with me, and I always strip with this one, even though this thing can do the same thing, but it's just a little bit bigger when I'm doing a lot of work, when I'm stripping a lot of wires, which happens most of the time, and this is just easier to get out the pouch than this thing, so this is a 6-in-1. This thing actually has a little bit more stuff to it, and that's kind of also the reason why I also have to have this instead of just having this. So one is, this thing is a reamer for, if you're doing conduits and stuff like that. This you can use as a reamer because, there's a lot of cutting notches and stuff here. These, these ridges here, because of those ridges on top here, you could probably see now, those, can cut through. I mean, if you try to ream anything with it, it's gonna do a pretty good job. Sometimes I use this even as something to file with. If it's something small amount that I gotta do, I could also file with this. So this thing is a reamer. For me, it's also like a file on the go. This is also a bolt cutter, right? So you could put your bolts here or here. You could just thread it in, and then you could just snip like this, and it would cut it. It's that easy. So if you have a bolt that's really tall, you could cut it short, which is pretty nice. Wire stripper, obviously. This thing can strip from where to go? Right here. So this thing can strip from 8 to 18 gauge of solid wire, or 10 to 20 gauge of stranded wire. So you could do all of that with this. It's also labeled here, solid or stranded, which is pretty nice. There's a locking mechanism here, as you can see. It kind of locks the tool down and keeps it this way. Another thing, this thing can actually be a loop maker. So you just throw your wire into the wherever you're gonna cut the thing with, the screw or whatever. You could put your wire in there and then turn to make a loop, which is pretty important. You could also make a loop. I usually just make a loop with the plier side. Also wire cutter, which I showed, and this thing also can be used as a plier, so pulling things and stuff like that. Right here, we got some teeth here. You could use it as a plier. Now this is all they really show, but the primary main reason why I really have to have this, and instead of just this, is because I can hit with this, the pointy nose, and it's a lot more stronger than this one. So let's say I have to break a thing for a panel, like a hole for a in a panel box. Hitting with this, first of all, this thing has a really big profile than this here, so I would really have to be accurate, and I would have to hit a bunch of times because this thing is very skinny, and it's very lightweight. This is heavier, and it's pretty skinny, pointy, so whatever I hit, it would break through it, you know what I mean? So that's definitely number one thing that I use this for, and that really helps with just breaking things and stuff like that. And another thing is if I am trying to get something pulled, like let's say I have to pull a wire from where the wire is really short, I just got to pull it a little bit, but if if I do it with my finger, it might be too much. Then I could use this as a plier as well. It's very heavy duty and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So it's pretty nice. This thing also has, what you call that, bolt cutter, I believe, or does it? I'm not sure actually. No, I don't think it does. There is a hole like that, but it doesn't thread in. I don't think it just has that much force to cut a bolt or whatever. But this is definitely, like, I just like to have this because I could use this for multiple different purposes. Which is absolutely nice. And for when you need a lot of strength cutting, maybe a thicker wire, this will definitely just be very helpful and useful. But I really like this. I love this one actually because it's just lightweight and it's just easy to take out. Cut something, put it back in it. It's just easier to deal with. But yeah, this is the Milwaukee 6-in-1, I believe. What is it? Whatever it is, it's pretty nice. And this is actually my third one because the first one I actually cut a live wire, without knowing it was live, but that messed up this part and it just burned the teeth. And then I let the second one, let somebody borrow it, and I don't know what they cut. They completely chewed out the thing. But yeah, now this is another one, and I'll never give it to anybody else. Let's see how long this one lasts. But this thing actually lasts a long time. The last one, I had it for maybe a few years now, but it is what it is. Sometimes things happen and you just gotta let it go, you know what I mean? I also keep a lineman plier with me, but again, this thing also has the same issue of, just, having a big surface area. So when you try to, hit a knockout, you really have to be accurate, And another reason why I actually keep it is this is my hammer. I don't carry a hammer at all, never. It's just in my van. When I need the hammer, that's when I carry it. But, regularly, for regular use, I just use this as a hammer, you know what I mean? So this one does perfectly fine for anything that's hammer related, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's pretty much it on this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys next time. Peace.